How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in here at odds.com. The Diehard MMA podcast is streamed exclusively here on odds.com. And if you want to watch the replay, click the link below. Head on over to odds.com to check it out. Next fight up, we have got Sergey Spivak, the polar bear baby, coming in here against Jared Vanderaa. Now, Sergey Spivak is 11-2. We've got 11-4 coming on Jared. And this is a big old boy heavyweight tilt that I am very much looking forward to. Sergey trains out of Extreme Couture, and he's actually been staying there. He trains out of Russia, obviously, but recently he's been hanging out at Extreme Couture in Vegas pre-fight leading up to this thing, and he's been getting some work in with Francis Ngannou, which got to love that situation there. Strong submission attack from this kid. Nice head and arm throw. He's one of these rare people that head and arm throw you really only see in women's MMA these days, but he seems to make it work for him at the heavyweight division. Really strong, athletic, good hips, and then he's got really improved boxing. His last time out, he showed a really nice jab. He strikes well in combinations, and his big clinch knees are the thing that really sells the money for him on the feet. The only problem I have with Sergey is that sometimes he can be willing to play off of his back. He's willing to accept the bottom position and try and look for situations from there, but he's very good off of his back. He's got a good active guard. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I don't really want to knock him for, but it can lead to him losing decisions against stronger wrestler types. Now, he's taking on Jared Vanderaa, who comes to us from the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series. That's the first time we saw this kid. Big, slow, plodding, classic heavyweight here. Heavy leg kicks. He does have some seriously heavy leg kicks. He's a bit of a slow starter, but he does like to pin his opponents up against the fence and bully them against the cage. He has a strong body lock. He has decent clinch knees himself. And really the big red flag about Jared is that you just don't want this guy on top of you. He is so massive and knows how to use that weight. If he gets on top of you on the ground, his ground and pound is absolutely vicious. But he's fought a terrible level of competition. I mean, I don't think the people that he has fought would have fared very well against Sergey Spivak coming in, leading up to the UFC. And Spivak's got some decent UFC experience at this point. I gotta go with the polar bear. I don't think that Jared does anything particularly well, and I think Spivak is improving, and there's some serious upside to this kid. So even though Jared's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage, he's a little bit bigger. And his chin has held up. It's been tested a couple times. I think he's very hittable. I think Sergey can pick him apart on the feet, and if it hits the mat, I think Sergey can submit him. So Sergey's sitting around minus 230. That's that prime parlay zone, and I've gone ahead and parlayed him. That's exactly what I did. I've got a 2-unit parlay, or a 2 times parlay with someone a little bit later on the card. So we will talk about that when we get there. How's everybody feeling? It looks like we're all kind of agreeing here. Vanderaa is garbage and Spivak inside the distance. I like that. Yep, Spivak by submission is something that I like. Yeah, you know what? If Hooper's been training with Askren, I think that's a good move. He absolutely needs to be doing that. He needs to get wrestling tied in with his jiu-jitsu. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. Spivak, I'm just Drew. What's up, buddy? All right. Yep, sub. There we go. CNC Gaming, what's up? Thanks for hanging out with us on a Monday evening. How you doing tonight? There you go, my friend. There you go. There's your shout out. Nev Rowe, yes, we are lined up for a guest. Matt Holt from U.S. Integrity is supposed to be joining me this evening. However, there was a bit of a time zone issue. So, the show must go on. It's one of those things. I got to get the ball rolling. Everyone's waiting for us. So as soon as he pops in here, he's got the invite. We will get him right in the show. And if we missed anything, if there's a couple fights early on that we've got to recap or ask for his opinion on, we will be sure to touch on those. Mario, what's up, my friend? Thank you. Everybody in a good mood. Everybody seems to be happy when we do a little bit of winning. It's nice, right? That's how sports betting is supposed to go. So the early prelims officially are just 2 fights now. We'll flip on over here to the preliminary card. And we lost the first one here. I was really excited for this fight. Rematch, Tisha Torres, Angela Hill. This one was going to be a good time, but that one's off the card as well. So we move right along to Gavin Tucker taking on Billy Quarantillo. Ivo, what's up? All right. So what we've got here is Gavin Tucker, 12-1, taking on Billy Q, who is 15-2. Really good prospect fight here at featherweight. Gavin Tucker, actually, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Both guys are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. So don't need to mention that for each one individually. Gavin Tucker has a big left body kick that he likes. He's got a good front kick. He uses that same left leg to, do like your common Muay Thai body shot, and then he also teeps to the abs, teeps to the body in the front with that same left leg. So you really got to watch out. That's one of his favorite weapons. And then you have got a strong body lock with this guy. He mixes in trips for his takedowns, and he's a solid wrestler. I mean, he's another one of these guys that has blended his Brazilian jiu-jitsu with his wrestling really, really well. I like that from Gavin Tucker. However, he slows down a little bit later in fights. We have seen that from him a couple of times before. And honestly, his striking, besides the left kicks, I'm not overly impressed. He does throw with some power, but it's not like he does anything crazy or good or anything like that. Billy Q, on the flip side of this thing, this kid's got next level cardio. He never, ever stops. High output. He knows how to use his length. He fights long in ground scrambles. He's another one of these scramble master type of fighters that just never, ever settles in a position, keeps his opponent working constantly. And he attacks off of his back. I mean, he's one of these guys that once he gets on bottom, he's throwing elbows at his opponent's head and stuff like that. Very Tony Ferguson-esque. And he's a human backpack. If he gets on your back, you are in absolute trouble. He's got a nasty top game, good ground and pound, and like I said, that never slows down either. If he gets on top of you and he hammers away with those elbows and things like that, that's a problem. What Billy Q does is he breaks his opponents. The pace that he sets on them and his durability, submission defense, they can't get him out of there. And then by round 2 or round 3, they're just going, damn, dude, like, what's it gonna take? And he ratchets up another notch at that point to just keep on the pressure. If you haven't figured it out yet, I kind of like Billy Q in this spot. So what we have is a fight that essentially opened up at a pick'em. Billy Q is a slight underdog, plus 105. It's now sitting about minus 130. If you follow me on Twitter, we got Billy Q at minus 115. We went ahead and hit that kid. We hit him early. I love this straight spot. And you know what? Billy Q in round 3 sounds pretty good to me. That's probably a prop that we will be sprinkling later this evening. Gabriel agreeing with me. Billy Q is the lock. We've got Billy Q smash. Love Billy Q. Q by TKO. I love it. I love it. All right. CNC Gaming. You're saying you're a failure at life. You talk a lot of shit, but I'm a good guy. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? Talking shit is okay if we're busting balls. We're having a good time with the, that kind of thing. As long as you don't get to the point of being toxic, you're okay. Just don't be toxic. Don't be an asshole. You can talk shit and we're good. It's fine. All right.